Good afternoon, fellow YouTubers. This is another how to convert your yard machine chipper to a one of these modern Chinese clones of a Honda engine. This engine I got off of Temu. I think it was 115 bucks. 7 horsepower, 212cc. And it looks like it's pretty decent. The reason I chose this one, it advertised that it had a steel camshaft gear. Some of these motors out of China have a plastic camshaft gear inside. So you got to be wary of that. But this seemed like a good deal. The old motor, it was still functional, but it was consuming oil and it's leaking oil. And it's a 5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton, I believe. So my whole goal in this project is, if this doesn't work, I can backtrack and go back to this motor if I have to, maybe replace that crankshaft seal on it. What else? So there was another guy who did this on YouTube. I'll post a link in the description below, and his shaft was not tapered like this, right? So that poses a real problem, because you're not going to get an adapter that is this configuration. That's like a 4.5 degree taper, goes down to 0.875 from 1 inch. Second thing to point out is you need this tool to remove the flywheel. Basically, the flywheel is threaded slightly larger, so that tool can fit in and grab it, and you just crank and that pops the Morse taper. So that's something to be aware of. I'll post a link for this tool from Amazon. You get 2 of them, and that's going to be important, as I'll discuss in a second. So yeah, we got to make this weird adapter, right? And we're going down to a 3/4 inch shaft. That's probably the biggest concern of this project, is will this shaft be able to hold up this flywheel? You know, we're going from 1 inch to 3/4, and there's a generous keyway here. Anyway, I turned this adapter on the lathe, which puts it out of the realm of most DIY hobbyists. Unless you've got a metal lathe, you're not going to be able to do this job. And also, there's not much room for a keyway here, right? I can only get that small section of keyway. So I'm going to bond that adapter using bearing mount, equivalent to Loctite 609. This is CRC's version of it. And that'll basically bond this sleeve to that 3/4 inch shaft. All the mounting holes work fine, no problem. These are metric, however, so you'll have to go out and buy 4, I think they're 8mm by 1.25 metric bolts, 3/4 inches long or so. Muffler, big issue. I don't know why they can't make one of these engines with this muffler tucked in. You know, it's just crazy. And nobody really sells a muffler like this. There's a bunch of exhaust pipes you can get from mini bikes and stuff like that. But anyway, I had to extend that. TIG welded a I don't know, about 4-inch extension onto the muffler to raise it up so it doesn't hit the housing. And then the big job. Well, the big job is this sleeve, but the second biggest job is modifying the chute, because that interferes with the motor. I'll show you in a second. Here, let me take this off. You basically take a pie cut out of that, and then, you know, do 3 slices on either side, and then you're going to bend it and then re-weld it again. You're going to have to trim off this guy, the plastic for that plug. You're going to use the other plug to fill the oil. I relocated this ignition module right here. It was there. I don't know why. I don't even know why they put that bracket. They could have just bolted it there. And I had to grind the bosses a little bit, right? So I'm out of warranty already. But there you have it. Got some more welding to finish up on that, which is not going to be fun. That's probably the hardest part, is relocating the chute. Another concern you know, this is the bolt. This is the bolt that fits into the drive shaft here, and we're a little bit smaller on the new shaft. So that special tool I mentioned, and you get 2 of them from Amazon, that has to be that's going to have to be machined down. I'll take the other one of these and machine down this surface so that I can fit in there, and I can use this modified tool to pull off this guy if I have to in the future. So yeah, I mean, this thing has served well. That Briggs & Stratton is running fine, but it's just a little underpowered, and but it, you know, I bought this thing used like 10 years ago, and so that engine has held up pretty well. And I think the nice thing is, if I can get it to work with these Chinese motors, I don't even care if this only lasts like 5 years, right? I'll buy another one in 5 years if I have to, but at least I got all the pieces adapted so I can keep doing that, and I'm not locked into that guy. And I'll just turn a new shaft adapter as needed as I change motors. But I don't know how much longer, you know. I don't know. I use this chipper probably twice, every 2 weeks at least at a bare minimum this past summer. I have yard waste pickup, but there's just so many branches and stuff that fall during storms and things like that, I just have to have this thing working. So wish me luck. I'll post a second video where I test run it and let you know my impressions of the power and so forth. So this will be a 2-part video. Anyway, there you go. Take care.